I'm here. I'm here. I think we're live. I think we are live. Welcome all, welcome all, welcome all to another Tools Day. Tools Day. I feel like a tool saying Tools Day, but it is Tools Day. I'm extremely excited. If you cannot tell by the amount of promotion that I've been doing, tools. Who doesn't love tools? So I realized at a point that the meat of it, right? The real core of it is that people want to see how you do your job. How do you leverage the tools to be able to get any of your engagements done? When I look at Tom's site and his YouTube, I see him always tinkering with computers open, and I'm always like, how do I do that? And I think I figured it out. So, Tools Day. I'm super excited. Uh, super excited. I think I may actually have the wrong title for this episode. I think so. I think I do actually. Interesting enough. Anyway, nevertheless, I will fix that at some point. I am super excited to have you here. My name is Xavier D. Johnson, and this is Tools Day. Today we're going to be looking at the land turtle, and more than just the land turtle, I decided to take a deviation. Before I was just going to show you the land turtle and, you know, make it pretty simple and show you how I would deploy this onto a network that's otherwise hardened, explain to you why uh, why this tool works the way that it does and the types of things that we could do, and kind of give you some demonstration around that, have a chat, call it a day. But then I thought to myself, wait, I remember doing C2 research and people being all like, oh, well, I want to see the Hak5 C2 panel. Have you played with the Hak5 C2 panel? And I was chatting with someone earlier and they pulled up theirs, and I was like, I have to deploy this thing. It cannot be hard to deploy. I need to go get a license for it, figure it out. So I went over to the folks at Hak5. I got the community version of the C2. So I'm going to be showing you kind of an enhancement on what I thought I would be showing you prior to today. But I think that you guys will enjoy it nevertheless. What's going on, Jordan? What's up, Kane? Kane got the dab emoji. That's dope. What's up, D? D McCullum? What's happening? Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into it. For all of you who are not familiar with the land turtle, let me kind of bring you up to speed on what all of this is about, right? So, long short of it, um, there is a company called Hak5, and they basically provide a number of tools. And one of their tools that Hak5 provides is the land turtle, but they also have something called the key croc. And you've probably heard me discuss a bit about their tooling and my affinity for their tools before. Well, one of the things that they provide also outside of these tools is this cool CloudC2. So we're gonna go dig into this and have a little bit of fun with that. But first, let me just properly introduce you to what the land turtle is, and it just happens to be on sale right now. So, land turtle, and the version that I have is the 3G version. Basically, they're considering it a covert systems administration and penetration testing tool, providing stealth, remote access, network intelligence gathering, and man-in-the-middle surveillance capabilities through a simple graphical shell, which it does. And I will show you how it does all of that with what looks like a very standard USB adapter. These adapters are actually giving out to students of colleges, all types of places use this. So that's just a brief introduction of the land turtle. The difference between the SD and the 3G version is that the 3G version allows you to be able to put a SIM card, and with this SIM card, you can actually do a remote connection out of band, so to speak. So when we say out of band, we mean it is no longer inside of the corporate network going through the firewall to my command and control server. It is now going through 3G to go to my command and control server, and I'm actually controlling it through that control plane. So if you're a blue teamer and you're looking, you don't even see me, right? You don't even see that egress connection, even if you blocked all egress. So very, very interesting tool. If you want to do some packet captures, say get after it. It's got a nice framework, and again, you see these adapters just about everywhere. I've run into them in the wild. So me as a sysadmin and a pen tester, I felt that it was extremely interesting, and I wanted one. So I went and got one. I actually have two. One is over with Tom Lawrence, and the other is somewhere in a very, very highly secure location that I have planted, and I have dropped, quote unquote, dropped my land turtle, and now it's time for me to get a shell. So I'm probably thinking, all right, like, what exactly is next, right? Like, how do we, transition from getting this device plugged into somebody's network that is otherwise a secure network and being able to actually interact with that? How does that work? Well, first, I want to explain to you what secure even really means. In this instance, secure is a place that has a firewall, and they are doing, they have a natted VLAN, right? So they have a NAT environment, they have multiple VLANs actually, and what's happening is there is no ports open for me to be able just to go and hit a port and be able to get directly into the network. This is a network that's blocking all ports inbound. But very typically, it's allowing all egress. And so we talked about kind of what that means earlier. If you're going to filter egress, you're going to have a pretty hard time because there's some services that are extremely ephemeral and just go out and do things on ports, right? That we can't really account for. So often we'll have, egress unlimited. If you wanted to limit it to 80 or 443, you possibly could. But just beware that me as an attacker could potentially do SSH over port 80. It's not really that hard for me, right? So these are things that you want to kind of think about. But otherwise, this is very typical of any other network that you would run across, right? So this device has been planted, and now I want to show you exactly what it looks like when I go ahead and try and connect to this. All right, so here, how do I zoom in on this thing? Thought I could increase size. I guess I cannot. Nevertheless, we are going to SSH into my remote server that I have here, which is a Ubuntu server that I have out in DigitalOcean. It's running Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. So this is specially made for Tools Day. I can't believe I can't make. There it is. This is specially made for Tools Day. Now everybody could probably see it a little bit better. So yeah, right. I'm here, and funny enough, again, I have my land turtle out somewhere, and I want to connect to my land turtle. So I've done a little SSH port forwarding magic, and actually, what's going to be really cool is I can do SSH into a port that is local, to a port that is non-standard to SSH on my localhost, but with the turtle user, I believe. If not turtle, no, actually, I believe it's root. It would be a root user because it's, yep. Oh, okay. Lowercase p. There we go. And then it's going to ask me for a password, which I can provide. And then all of a sudden, I have access to what is called the turtle shell. And from this turtle shell, right, you can see there's a number of, well, it is freaking out right now. I think it's because I've made this too big. So I'm going to redo this. Definitely too big. Just a little bit smaller. Actually, I believe it could be that. What in the world has happened? Okay. Well, there's Windows being Windows for you. I'll start a whole new command prompt here and make it a reasonable size. Oh, it's done it again, huh? Oh, there we go. Whatever. I will SSH back into that host, and then I will SSH back into my turtle, and now you guys can probably read this much better. And this is called the turtle shell, and the turtle shell is where all of the meat of this happens, right? So this is where the the modules are downloaded, the configuration of the LAN turtle kind of lives. So this is where, if you were pre-engagement and you wanted to go and deploy this, you would get into here first and set everything up that you would want. And a part of that setup, right, would be for this particular one, potentially configuring the 3G modem, changing the password, changing the MAC address to something that maybe is whitelisted that you already know of. If the customer has network access control, changing the wide area IP address, disabling the turtle shell, etc. Right? Checking for backups. And then you would go into modules, and you would get one module to start with, right? And the module you start with is the module manager. The module manager is how you actually go and go and grab other modules, right? So while you're at home, you pop open the directory, look for all of the different modules that you may want to install onto your LAN turtle. So you got CloMac, which is cloning the client's MAC address into the WAN interface, right? You got cron, you got DDNSC, which is a dynamic domain name service, DNS spoof, DNS mask spoof, following a file, something called iDyn, which basically creates a DNS tunnel, Meterpreter over HTTPS, P-tunnel, which is proxying TCP traffic over ICMP, which is really, really sneaky. Another one of those things. Quick creds, which was something that Mubix came up with. Basically, you plug in the LAN turtle into a locked device, and something happens that allows you to be able to grab hashes off of that device. Email script output via SMTP, PostScript output via HTTP, remote file systems over SSH, Tor gateway, UPnP port forwarding, system uptime, URL snarf, which actually that doesn't sound so bad to install, right? So we'll go ahead and install that just so we can see what's happening on this person's network. It looks like we've went ahead and installed that. And just to go back here, we're going back out of the module manager, and then we'll shift into some of what these are, right? So you got a few different options here. One of my favorite things to do immediately is stand up a server out in the world, command and control server, and set up auto SSH. And what auto SSH does is allows you to be able to set up a user on a IP address with the port, and then a remote port that you want it to connect to, right? And then a local port that it's connecting on. And what this does is it continuously makes a call out to that command and control server, right? And so it's persisting that connection always to that command and control server. The moment that it's plugged in, it's always trying to call it, right? And that's what you saw earlier. That's what allowed us to be able to SSH into this host on localhost, right? So we're inside of this turtle out in the world somewhere through our command and control server, because this turtle shell is making a connection to it, and we're doing port forwarding. So That is one of the first things that I always set up immediately. And then you got the opportunity to do things like in-map scanning, right? Where you could, uh, go do a quick scan just using, you specify target network, which is obviously the local network. Do a little bit of fingerprinting on your customer, right? Because should be a customer, and see what IP address range, that they're running. Typically, that's in the rules of engagement. Pop that into here. That's your target. And then you go over here to configure, and you can set up an actual scan profile. So you can say, hey, I want a intense scan, I want a ping scan, I want a quick scan. Maybe we'll do a ping scan to start. And then you can, select the log location as to where you want this to go. For me, I probably will have it go to temp, right? And then you can actually execute out on that, right? And when you execute out on this, you sit back and it's actually running an in-map scan from that little tiny LAN turtle and letting you know exactly what's on that network. We got 11 hosts up, and this is a diverse network. We have some Apple devices, we have some Ubiquiti stuff here, and it was immediately quick for me to be able to, from anywhere in the world, be able to see what's going on inside of my victim's network. So that's one really, really cool module to make sure you always have. Another fun one that I like to play with is Responder, right? And I won't kick that off just now because that's time for another video. But nevertheless, what Responder does is it poisons LLMNR, which is basically the way that Windows machines communicate with each other using tokens, etc. And it actually acts as if it is a host that requires that kind of token, grabs that token for you to be able to potentially pass forward. Key Manager is actually where we house all of our SSH keys. So one of the things that we do is we generate an SSH key pair. Right here, it allows us to do that. Then we copy that key and then copy that key over to our remote cloud host. And then we add that host to our local known host. And you could review the local known host, and you see that's the server that we're on right now. So yeah, this is really, really like powerful and fun stuff, right? And you could do it from your own command and control server somewhere out in the world. You don't have to worry about running a service or being inside of the client's network, or figuring out. You can actually ship this to your customer and use this to do engagements, right? Like from a compliance standpoint, where you want to see exactly what's happening there, and maybe there's a configuration issue. Any way that you want to have that edge, that quote unquote beachhead, you're using this as your beachhead, right? A beachhead is an endpoint that's behind the line, the wall, right? The Great Firewall that you can interact with and control. So one of the things that I want to play with, that I haven't had a chance to play with yet on this particular device, is URL snarf. And so why not try and see if we can't get some HTTP traffic to come from our top secret site. Let's see. Everybody's all HTTPS these days, so this may be harder than suspected. Also, this was totally not a part of my live demo, so don't worry if it doesn't work. I won't feel bad. Here, let me find another site. All right, I'm doing stuff. It should be coming through. In the event that it doesn't, I don't really mind. Shit happens. we got no love, even though I went to a HTTP site. But usually for URL snarf, you'll be able to actually see the URLs that are coming across the screen, so that you can actually see what your victims are doing on that network. But nevertheless, that is kind of a high overview of some possibilities with this. But again, you got to remember we're doing all of this from a a remote server. So one of the things that I wanted to demonstrate here was using the Hak5 C2. So Hak5 came out with command and control after they made this product. I haven't played with the Hak5 command and control before today, and I actually set this turtle up before it left. And surprise, surprise, I have another piece of Hak5 equipment here. And for all of you that are not aware, this is a Tetra. I mean, excuse me, not a Tetra, a pineapple nano, and I have a Tetra in the back over there that I'm going to play with later now. And yeah, GTG, good to go. So I got a little battery pack for this joint. I got an extra Wi-Fi little nodule right here, a little USB Wi-Fi adapter. So I got a battery, and I want to play with this and get this adopted into that command and control server so that we can see exactly what that process looks like. But for right now, before we jump into that, I'm going to show you what the LAN turtle looks like in the C2 panel. So if I go to exit right here, boom, we're over here at Tools Day, right? So we're gonna pull that one down, boom. I have a command and control panel that I already stood up, and I'm sure somebody's gonna try and hack it, but hey, that comes with the territory. The Hak5 CloudC2, and as you can see, we have one client, and this client just was added. And if you go over here to here, let me full screen this. If you go over here to devices, you can actually see the LAN turtle, its uptime, the transfer that it's had over the wire, the wide area network IP address, the customer site that it's at. Luckily, that's an ephemeral IP address, so don't worry about killing that all day. Then you go here, and you can see that it has one client online. And you kind of get the idea of all of the options that it has here. So there's a setup option. This allows you to be able to download the client configuration that you use to connect to that. You have an option to rename this LAN turtle. You have the export option, which just basically takes all of the loot from the device and downloads it. You have a reboot, a wipe, and a remove option. And this is the overview of that, right? The clients, you can actually see the client that is connected to, the IP address that it's been, that it has on the private network. There's no loot that's available yet, but it will stream here. So if we would have gotten some loot, it would have been here. But one of the really, really interesting things to me is that there is this terminal, and in this terminal, you can do things like start an SSH session. So that thing that I showed you with the keys and the whole dance, you no longer have to do. You can actually just configure this thing, set this up, and believe it or not, you can double click to actually change. You don't even have to use the keyboard. Go over here, click OK, and you can see that this is quite literally the same LAN turtle. So much so that I'll show you the modules that are installed, and it's the exact same modules. All right, so this is literally that LAN turtle that's in that network, that actually has a a strict firewall that has no allowed inbound ports, that I can now control this device from right here in the Hak5 C2, and that is pretty badass. And so it gets you to thinking, right? Like, hey, who am I allowing to be in my server room? Who am I allowing to be near my machines? That thing about insider threat, Yeah, it just became a little bit more hardcore because now anybody can walk in, plug this into their desktop, walk out for the day, have a 3G modem installed, and you never capture any of those logs to be able to see that exfil happening, right? Especially with something like SSH file system, because now out of band using SSH, which is a tunnel, I can take company secrets and move them out out of the network, which is a really big deal, especially if you have like the jet plans to something, right? So as promised, for one, I hope that was insightful. I hope that you enjoyed. This is one of my favorite tools. I haven't gotten this deep with it in quite some time. When I first got it, I played with it a lot more than right now, of course. Um, right now, I kind of use it more as a tool before I used it more as a toy. uh, but right now, I want to show you something that I almost never leave the house without. If you've been around me, I've captured stuff. That's just kind of like the nature of me. And I want to show you how easy it is. This will be my first time doing it as well. How easy it is for me to be able to connect my Wi-Fi Pineapple to the Hak5 C2 server. So Fendrick says, even better, host SSH on port 443. Make the traffic a bit harder to detect. Anyone with Wireshark will know it's not HTTPS traffic, but you don't look there first ever. It's very true, right? Um, that's the loveliness about SSH. You can basically put it on whatever port you want, and then the fact that it's a tunnel, it's a tunnel. So it's pretty amazing. This thing is booting up, so hopefully I don't piss off any of the neighbors. That is definitely on the table for right now. I'm pretty sure this thing is in angry mode. Like when it boots, it goes directly into, okay, boss, let's work. So hopefully I don't get a knock on the door. Okay, so what I will do here is try and connect to that device into the management portion of it. Hopefully I get lucky enough where I can remember the password to the management portion of this. I really do hope so. It says that I'm unable to connect to that network. Let's see, maybe it's a different key. There's nothing like trying to remember the password to tools. All right, I made it in. So, let me go over here to the NANO, and I just need to get the IP address, which is 172. Oh, it's the port that I'm missing. Here we go. All right, pineapple. Woohoo! Let's see if password from LastPass works. Woohoo! It does. Well, there you go. There's a whole lot of connecteds, a lot of SSIDs in the pool, high CPU usage, but nevertheless, right now, safe to say that this is connected onto the local, connected to its local network, private IP addresses. And what I want to do here is now go back to my Hak5, because I have more than one network interface. I can do that. And I want to go over here and click plus to add a device. We'll name this the NANO. And then we're going to make this the nano. Boom. All right. So last seen never. All right. So we'll go ahead and click setup, and then this will download a file called device config, which we will save. All right. And then what we want to do is, let's see here. Change this name so that it's unique, so I don't have to deal with special characters. All right, cool. So now what I will do is make a new command prompt where I will, interestingly enough, what I find to be extremely interesting is when you go to setup, when you go to, where is it at? Oh, here you go. When you go over here to help, it shows you getting around, adding devices, blah, 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 managing devices, right? One of the things is it immediately lets you know the IP address. If I remember properly, that's a 4.2. That's a 4.2, right? So what we should be able to do is grab this bash and then scp nano over at root at 172.16.42.1/etc, right? And if I'm lucky, this works. All right. So, that just worked. I just SCP'd that over, right? And what I do now is I reboot my Pineapple, because what happens is it connects to the C2 when it is booting, right? Which is fairly standard. So we'll give this some time to do its reboot thing, and then we'll sit here and hang out. Fendrick says, also usually no outbound rules against 443, right? I mean, who in their right mind who doesn't want their phone to ring on a Friday is going to block 443? There's no amount of hacker that anybody's trying to block that's going to be like, you know what? No 443 today. No amount. No amount. So yeah, this is doing its thing. Either it's not going to reboot and I have to force reboot it, or it's going to reboot very shortly. Nevertheless, I'm just going to give it a little assistance here. We're just going to unplug it, replug it. There you go. All right. As you can see, the transfer went up, so you can actually stay conscious, like, about your traffic. You want to, while in engagement, while out in the wild, use this however you want to use it. You gotta stay conscious of your transfer. The amount of data that you're putting onto that wire is extremely important. That could be the difference between you staying stealth and going loud. So be careful on that. So right now, I should be all bootski. Nope, not yet. It's still working on it. And hopefully, when it does boot up, it just lets me know right here. So we'll give that some time. In other news, how's everybody been? Somebody hit me up in the chat. What's going on? Let me know something. Is COVID over officially now? It's been crazy, right? Like people are leaving out the house. People are hanging out at Belle Isle. If you're not from Michigan, Belle Isle is the island that's right next to Detroit. Yes, Detroit has an island. It's amazing. Michigan is an amazing place. Let's see. Why you no love me, man? I may have bricked it, but that's okay because I'll figure it out. But I may have bricked it. I don't know yet. You guys were here for it live. The live portion of demos, it's fun. It's like it's a crapshoot. It's never like 100% I'm going to nail it or 100% I'm going to fail it. It's like 50-50. That's the reason why I always try and bring you one that I've done before, just in case, just so we're not like wasting nobody's time. Like, all right, what's going on here? But I like to try and do live demos. I think that it kind of it's just fun. It's a challenge to try and get something to work in front of a group of people. It's a computer, so it's highly likely that it will not work. Um, Xavier, we need a land turtle with LTE. You know what? You're totally right. We definitely do. I mean, but look at how little transfer went over that wire, right? It's like only 6.5, gigabyte. I mean, excuse me, megabytes. So, maybe it's a thing. Kane says, "Are you even hacking if you don't break something?" Exactly, right? Like, are you even hacking if you don't break the tool midway? Like, if you aren't restarting 500 times, then you're not even hacking. That's just a part of it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Some people get it right first shot. Me, I fucking break everything. If you give it to me, I will break it, and I bet money on it. Ask Justin Newman. Ask Justin Newman. I will break it. By the way, if you haven't, please go and watch Justin's video. Don't drop things in servers. Yes, this had to be made into a video. It's hilarious. He's a good friend of mine. He's right here in the chat. Go show him some love from me to him. He's a bro. He's starting a new YouTube journey. Justin also says, my neighbor had like 30 people over for a party this weekend. I guess COVID is over. Right? Don't cough on me. That's all I can say. Don't cough on me. I would not like to be coughed on. George says, do it live. What can go wrong? I mean, it could break, but hey, I'm okay with a brick. It's kind of more entertaining, right? Because to be honest with you, someone else is going to go through this process, and it's going to happen to them. It's just the nature of the beast, and in reality, it's highly likely my fault. I did not click update before I went and try and add it to the C2. Maybe I put it into some state that it never even anticipated, right? So there's that. Also, I am the guy who could be making a human error, right? Right now, I'm not connected to that network, the management network. So it very well could be up and functioning, and it's just a me thing, right? I still may get another shot at this. So I'm connected to this network right now. I'll let you know if it works. Woohoo! All right. Hopefully you're still with me, because I am playing with networking while I'm live. That's never a good idea. All right. So load bulletins. If we can load bulletins, then we have network connectivity. If we cannot load bulletins, we do not have network connectivity. And that would, again, explain everything, right? If we go over here to network, let's see. Yeah, networking. We go ahead and there's another Wi-Fi client in here. There's another Wi-Fi card in here, but apparently it is going to need to be taken out and put back in, just because it should know that interface exists. There should be more than just that one, but whatever. We're not trying to do anything with Pine AP right now anyway. Here we're gonna go. Fuck it. Let's put them on an essay. Let's get it on the NSA. All right. Connect. Come on, connect for me. Connect for me. Connect for me. All right. Connected and got an IP address. If I go over here, maybe it'll just connect now that it's got access to a network. All right. It took a little bit for the turtle, so we'll give it some time to kind of come around. But another one of the things that I think would be probably beneficial, to double check that we have network activity. We do have network connectivity. I may have the latest already as far as the update. Here, let's check for upgrades. Oh no, I'm definitely not on the latest. Let's go ahead and perform upgrade live because we got time for it today. Edward said, just took the cover off my pool. If you ever want to swim, just hit me up. You guys hear that? That is a friend indeed. Because I am a friend in need. Pool party, hacker pool party, fucking Edwards. And you got to hack your way in. You got to know how to get there. Village Smithy. I've been dying to mess around with my pineapple. I just don't have a good area with a lot of traffic. Yeah, I say, when you travel, take it with you. It is a fun little piece of kit that will get you in trouble, but it is fun. So just be careful with it and enjoy. David says, like working with kids and animals, never know what will happen. Exactly. That's very, very true. The firmware is being flashed on this thing now. Solid blue light. So we're gonna let it rock. Give it some time. Give it some time. Kane says shouldn't have unplugged it. You're right. Funny. When you connect, the stream get chunky. Yeah, I know, right? It well, because it's two adapters, so it's like, okay, you're connected to this adapter, and then it's like, that doesn't have internet. Okay, we're gonna go back to the other adapter. It happens. Firmware is being flashed. Firmware is being flashed. While the firmware is being flashed, did you guys know that I ran a clothing company? Yes, I know the stylish clothes that I wear. They either come from conferences like DEF CON. This is a DEF CON shirt. Oh my god, I love DEF CON so much. Shout out to DEF CON. DEF CON is in safe mode this year. But on the other side of it, I run a platform called Red Team Clothing. And Red Team Clothing, and if you follow me, you've probably seen me posting about it. I've been trying to kind of get back in the swing of the whole, designing things and, you know, I don't know, web development in general. I haven't really been doing a whole lot of web dev, but nevertheless, this stream is brought to you by something that I own. Red Team Clothing. Nevertheless, we got some wall art. We got a design your own opportunity right here. So come on through. We got long sleeves. We got short sleeves. This is a WannaCry map. If you go over to shop, you'll probably find just about everything. Like if you just click just the whole entire shop, which it'll load shortly. But yeah, we got Bitcoin pillowcases. We got framed posters. Hacker tee, general hacker tees. One of my favorite tees right now. Hack it, watch it burn. Because that's kind of like the mantra, right? Like hack it, watch it burn, right? Like it's kind of a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know when you might want to throw this on. Try to bring y'all some heat for the one time. Fishing like our fathers. For all of my outdoorsy folks out there that may want to throw on something. We got the fishing, but spelled appropriately. Fishing. Fishing. So hit me up. I got a discount code for y'all. I gotta come up with it. I ain't gonna lie, I don't got it right now. But show some love and let's see. Oh, firmware is still being flashed. This thing is blinking now. And I don't think I'm on that network anymore. I'm not. So what that means is that means that it is ready. Let me turn Wi-Fi off and turn it back on. Woohoo! Is it just me or did the stream crap out? Oh no, no video? Alright, sorry guys. This is a part of the live portion of the demo. Huh. What to do, what to do. Wi-Fi is not showing me my... Oh, here we go. Woohoo! Stream is getting chunky. Stream is getting chunky. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No dice yet. Well, an effort of not killing my... Yep, an effort of not killing my stream, I am going to not do that. But I think you guys get the gist of it, right? And I'll probably do a follow-up video, more of like a personal type of video, not a live stream, where I can kind of work through those bugs a little bit to kind of show you exactly what it looks like to get the Nano and the Tetra on, and then we'll run a couple of scans. It's a good opportunity to do some more content. I don't want to keep hitting my head against a wall here, especially not live. So if you can see me still, because I know I've probably pissed off the stream gods. The stream gods are angered. So if you're having an issue, just refresh. It should come back. Nevertheless, yeah, that's basically all I want to show you, right? So I guess kind of thinking about this moving forward, tools that are physical, things that we may want to take and deploy onto sites, like pineapples and nano tetras, all that type of stuff, all land turtles, shark jacks, screen crabs, those types of things. Since they are all coming from the same place, it makes sense that they go into the Hak5 C2. And it I would say that if you have these tools and you want to kind of have some competitive advantage over other people who may not be thinking about these things, it's the perfect time to be able to take this Cloud2. It's only a year, the C2, it's only a year old. It's time for us to give it a fair go. It's community. They have a professional version, but this is the community version. It was very easy for me to get my hands on. It's free. You put it in the cart, and then you can good to go. So for me, it was pretty easy. You just stood it up on a Ubuntu cloud instance, and off to the races you go, basically. Um, so yeah, it is definitely something that is worth taking a look at. Um, you know, I'm going to sit here and play with it myself, see if I can't get some pictures or videos or passwords or anything. You never really know. I think it's just so cool that we've gotten to the point now where you can buy a tool, run a couple of configurations. Next thing you know, like, this is spy level stuff, right? Like, you can go and deploy this on Fendrick's network or out at Tom's place. Maybe that's the next thing. I'll get Tom to install my configuration onto the LAN Turtle and then plug it into a pfSense firewall and show you guys how easy it is for me to be able to connect into an entire network using the Hak5 CloudC2 and something like a LAN Turtle. But yeah, that was basically what I had to bring to you guys this week. If you guys got something for me, put it in the stream. Put it in the comments. Love to hear from you all. Come on, you hackers! I know you can do it. Oh, also, what other tools would you guys like me to demonstrate? I know I have some lock picks that I can show, but I'm not sure how exciting that will be. I'm not sure if everyone here knows how locks work or have seen a lock cutaway and understand the differences between different locks and how to pick them. But that's always fun. Lock sporting is extremely fun. I think we've kind of done the C2 thing into the abyss, right? Like I've been C2 crazy lately. I love command and control. It's just fun. I'll put a turtle on a device on its own VLAN with strict outgoing and there won't be any fun. Yeah. That's because you know it's there. But if you're Macy's and, and this thing gets plugged in, you're probably not going to be feeling the same level of confidence. Just saying. But yeah, it's definite. I mean, there's ways that this could be blocked, and we hope as testers that after we use this one time and we tell our customer how it works and the reason why they should block it and how to block it, that it works. But in Fendrick's case, he's saying, "Hey, I want to block the firewall." Well, then you know what I'm going to do next? Instead of using the LAN turtle to egress through the adapter, through the WAN adapter, I'm going to use the 3G adapter now. And now you can't see any of the traffic that's going out. And I could be running, ARP spoof or meta interpreter or, those types of tools that will allow me to be able to potentially move laterally in your environment. Village Smithy says you can run Responder on a Pineapple Nano, right? Sort of, right? So the Nano allows you to be able to get that client on the same network as you, which is kind of always the goal. The goal is basically to always say, hey, how do I get my computer as close to my target as possible so that I can try and attack it? So if we're talking Android phones, because we have Android exploits, then we can get the Wi-Fi Pineapple to connect to that phone to connect to the Wi-Fi Pineapple. We have our attacker device on the Wi-Fi Pineapple. We have that private IP address from the Wi-Fi Pineapple that we can use in our attacks now. So think about it as a routing tool, right? The central point which you can route out. Tyler, your message got redacted, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I don't know why or how. I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff. Yeah, but if it's in its own VLAN, nothing else it'll still be boring. Yeah, extremely boring if you just put me in my own VLAN. Gosh, kill buzz. Unless I figure out a way to like VLAN hop or I just start to like drain bandwidth. Like if you got a bandwidth cap, I can just start to try and just download a file that goes to dev null, right? Like and just do dumb shit like that. But that's about it, right? I can try and do like I try and scan something from your IP address, and then all of a sudden, I guess if you're doing strict X egress, then blah, and I'm having no fun at that point. I'm not in it for that type of shit. I'm in it for customer reports. I give you a report. I let you know what you're vulnerable to. Call me back. Let me help you again. That's basically where we're at. Or I did drop a LAN Turtle SD. Right, basically. Yeah, land turtles are fun, man. Nanos, land turtles, those are super fun. I have to find my packet squirrel, which is around here somewhere. I don't know where it was. I was looking for it before the event, and that's another thing about your tools. Keep them organized. Get a tool bag. I got a tool bag. Um, it's super important to get you something like this that you can just like sling around your body and hit the streets with. Uh, but even with a tool bag, somehow, some way, I've either left it and forgot that I left it somewhere, let someone borrow it and forgot that I let them borrow it, or it's just in my house. So there's that. But yeah, I sit here and chat with you guys all night. Um, Upcoming things. Friday we have how they got hacked. I also we moved game night for my sec from Tuesday, which would usually be after this, to Friday. So if you want to hang out and kind of meet some other hackers, maybe chat it up a bit, join us. We love to have you over in the Discords, um, the Slacks, all of it. So hit me up. You can hit me up. The Discord is right there. It's right down here. That's my Discord. Right in that lower right hand corner on the screen. Infinite hashtag 7332. That's me. Um, as always, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram. As you can see, I'm trying to get better at this marketing and merchandising and all that shit. So sorry if it's spammy. I kind of got to do it because I haven't ever done it, and people are like on my ass about it. So now I'm spammy McSpammerson. So sorry. Please like, share, sub, and until Friday, I hope to see all of you come out to How They Got Hacked Friday. But until then, peace. Oh, and don't forget, every Tuesday is Tools Day. And I would love to hear you guys reach out to me. Let me know in the comments below, in the chat. Reach out to me on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Let me know what tools you want to see. I'm down to show you any tools that I can get my hand on. I got some car hacking tools that's sitting around here that might make it next week.